Hello, my name is Lee, and I've got a confession to make. I'm a Toastmasters Addict, and I have been for 2.5 years. It all started back in the fall of 2008. A rather attractive female acquaintance of mine, she invited me to a Toastmasters meeting. I had no idea what I was getting into. I thought it was like going on a date, maybe more. Man, was I in for a rude awakening. I can remember that very first meeting. I was late. It was a memorial Toastmasters meeting. And I've never been a MUN student before, so trying to find your way through this place, it's like a mainlander trying to drive through downtown St. John's. It's not the most user-friendly place to navigate. I was wandering aimlessly through the halls, and all of a sudden, I heard the roar of applause come from a hall at the end of the corridor. So I walked in and stuck my head inside, and they all welcomed me in like a stray dog. They said, "Oh, come in, sit." So I came in, took a seat next to my female acquaintance. But she couldn't give a damn about me. She was doing a speech that night. Her mind was off in its own little world. Nobody else existed. And then the chairperson, she asked me to introduce myself. So I did. And guess what? They all gave me a round of applause. I mean, what a bunch of crazy kooks. I mean, it's the first time anybody ever clapped their hands because I knew my own name. It felt weird, but I liked it. That was my first hit of the Toastmasters drug. They give you just a little taste, and they invite you back for more. So you get suckered into the trap. And I couldn't get it out of my head. I mean, by the time next week's meeting rolled around, I was craving another round of applause simply for knowing my own name. Sure enough, I walked through the door at next week's meeting, late as usual. And they all greeted me like a long-lost relative. "Oh, hi, Lee, come in, sit." So I went in, sat down. They asked me to introduce myself, and sure enough, the audience burst into a thunderous round of applause. And not only that, this time around, they even had a cardboard name tag made up for me. I'm telling you, they rubs it on thick when they're trying to sucker in the newbies. By that third meeting, they were really luring me in. They told me that all those freebie applauses I was getting as a guest were no longer good enough. And if I wanted the real deal, I'd have to sign up as a member and give a speech. And then I'd get a real round of applause as a speaker. Next thing I knew, I was forking over $40 for a 6-month membership. Felt so cheap and dirty. And the next week, you show up to the meeting, late as usual. But this time, nobody takes notice. They don't even ask me to introduce myself. And they even fined me 25 cents for my tardiness. The harsh realities of Toastmasters are starting to set in. But it's too late. I'm already hooked, and I can't quit. And now, here I am, 2.5 years later, stressing myself out, just so I can stand here and give this speech in hopes that I'm going to get a little rush from the audience's applause. It's a nasty obsession. One of these days, I'm going to beat this Toastmasters addiction. But until then, I'm just going to take it one speech at a time. Madam Toastmaster.